While I'm busy questioning myself, Kate wastes no time and finishes off the last remaining Lasethi by sending an ice dagger flying into his head. She then turns to look at me and she shakes her head in disapproval. Help me, Barry, she says seriously. When's the last time you've seen Layla play the damsel in distress, especially against a weakling such as this? Hold on, I say. You're not going to tell me that Layla's calls for help was the only thing that led you to believe that she was in fact the Lasethi, are you? Actually, this is exactly what I'm going to tell you. But what if you were wrong, I say, shocked. Then Darren would have had to cast an extra healing spell, Kate says. I made sure to not hit any vital spots with my first phone, just in case. So there would have been no lasting damage. Wow, I say. I'm not sure how to react to this. Just react like you always do, Kate says with a quip. Quip is like a witty comment, right? She pauses as she sees Darren as the others starting to free themselves from the effects of the paralysis trap. Come on, Kate says. We should search their headquarters and see if we can find something useful. With a little luck, I might find some information about Diane. I mean, Kate is fucking the goat. That was fucking awesome. I'm amazed that she was able to figure that out that quickly. That was way too close, Darren says as we all begin to enter the headquarters. We really need to do something about vulnerability to electricity. Yeah, Rick says, I don't think I've felt like having so little control of a situation since that time we got shocked by Kate's elementarist friend. If Barry hadn't figured out how the spell worked before we got here, we would have been goners. Well, I guess it's a good thing that you have a friend who spent his life nerding it up in libraries, I say. Isn't that right, Darren? Yeah, Darren says, and we all begin to search the desks in the Lasethi room. It takes a few minutes of searching, but we eventually realize that every single drawer is completely empty. Damn, Darren says, not even a single document. Do you think that they may have emptied out the headquarters before this meeting as a precautionary measure on the off chance that they actually got defeated? They may have done it way before that, I say. If they were already suspecting the king's servant got followed here, they probably considered this location to be compromised, so they made sure to not leave anything of value in this place. I guess you're right, Darren says. So suppose we should be getting back to the castle then. Yes, Kate says. I'm definitely not going to find out any information about Diane from this place. Let's go back. How small are the headquarters? Jeez. Is there no one else in the headquarters other than them? I guess not. Yes, Kate said, I'm definitely not. Yeah. You know, I tell Kate as we prepare to exit the headquarters. You could have left the last Lasethi alive in order to interrogate him. You already had him more or less immobilized with that first set of ice cones that you shot in his abdomen. So he shouldn't have been much of a threat. I didn't want to risk it, Kate says. This Lasethi was practically the illusionist of their group. He may well have other tricks in his sleeve. It's never a good idea to leave illusionists alive after a fight. What do you guys think? Should we take these weapons with us? Hardrick says as he passes Lasethi's corpses. Oh, we definitely should be taking them, I say. I could totally use one of those. I then take the emerald encrusted shield from the ground and start swinging it up and down in an attempt to cast a spell with it. I say, I don't recall that Lasethi uttering any incantation before he cast his illusion spell, or before casting the flash of light that he used to hide the illusion from us. Maybe there's a hidden button or something I'm missing. Let's take this to King Golemix, Darren says. He's a tinkerer, should be able to make sense of how these weapons work. Whoa, Hardrick says, jumps back 3 feet from after having only taken 1 step forward. I almost forgot about the electricity trap from earlier. Relax, I say. That spell deactivates automatically as soon as everyone in the range leaves the area. I then go past the area where the trap had been activated before and I turn around to face Hardrick. See? I say, there's nothing to worry about. Let's get out of here. You grab the Lasethi weapons. We begin to head back, following the exact same route that we took on our way here. As soon as we reach the corridor below the king's basement, Hardrick starts throwing rocks at the trapdoor below us in order to get the king's attention. A few seconds later, the trapdoor opens and the extensive ladder drops all the way down, just like before. Is it a super long ladder like in Dark Souls or something? But it's super funny to watch the person climb for like 2 minutes straight. It's going to be a bit difficult to climb this ladder while carrying these Lasethi weapons, Darren says. Can we just strap them to your back like you did with your shield, I say? Well, the shield is made to be strapped to your back when you travel for extended periods of time. Darren says, these weapons don't have any straps and the shield strap is not designed to hold any other weapon on it. You're both making this sound way more complicated than it really is, Hardrick says. It picks up the Lasethi trident. There's no need to carry these all the way up with us. We can just throw them through the hatch. I don't think that's a good idea. He then shouts loudly to make sure that Gollum can hear him. Hey Gollum, Hadrick shouts, I'm going to throw some things your way. Some of them have pointy ends. Make sure you stay away from the trapdoor. The Gloom gives us a long sign with an okay sign with his hand, and then Hadrick starts tossing all the weapons through the hatch. As soon as he's done, we all climb the extensive ladder one by one, and once we reach the king's basement, the trapdoor closes itself behind us. Should I take it that the Sethi are all dead? King asks us. Yep, we took them all out. I say. Extraordinary, Gollum says, and not a single scratch on any of you either. I'll admit that I'm impressed. Make sure to keep up your end of the bargain, Darren says. We don't want to see any more slaves in the street when we come back to the city. Of course, Gollum says. I'll begin making preparations for the abolition of slavery first thing tomorrow morning. I only wish there was something else I could repay you for your help. Given that the mission I've sent you on is a secret, I cannot give you any official reason to the treasurer that would justify offering you a reward. Hey, there's no need, I say. We are the ones who volunteered for the mission in the first place. If you still want payment, we should have asked for it from the get-go. If we wanted payment. Still, I wouldn't want you to leave empty-handed. The king says, hold on, I think I have something that might be used to you. He then disappears under his workbench, and he reappears 10 seconds later with a small device in his hand, which only has a screen and a button. This device will help you find out if someone is a Lesethi or a human. You simply press this button while aiming the device at someone, and the writing that will appear on the screen will tell you whether they are Lesethi or not. I made it a long time ago, back when I couldn't differentiate between the aura of humans and Lesethi with my magical sense. I haven't really used it in years, so you can have it if you want. Take the device that Gollum offers you. Sure, take the device. We'll take it, I say. I'm not sure how much use we'll get out of it, but you never know. So about the Lesethi weapons that Hadrick threw into your room, Darren says, yes, let me have a look. I tried to get that shield to activate, but I just couldn't find any switch on it. I say as the gnome studies Lesethi weapons closely. Well, it's no wonder, Gollum says. These weapons have been clearly been designed to only work in the hands of individual that they were tailored for. If you don't have the exact aura signature of the Lesethi who are using these devices out, they could get any use out of them. This measure was probably taken in order to avoid having their enemies use their own weapons against them. So they're completely useless then, I say. Not entirely. As weapons they have no use, but if I disassemble them, I might just find some parts that I could use on some other device. Oh, I say, speaking of your devices, I just remembered that I overheard the Lesethi say something about that telepathic device of yours while they were still in the meeting. It turns out that they were the ones who sabotaged the device in the first place, really the first round of tournament. But what I could understand, it seems that they had some sort of plan they needed to carry out until the beginning of the first round. They needed as much time as possible to get it done properly, but things didn't really seem to work out in the end because a lot more mages died than they were expecting, which messed up their plans somehow. Gollum says, I definitely remember them trying to convince the other kings to insert a rule in the tournament where the participants couldn't kill each other unless the rules explicitly required them to. So it was sabotage that caused the malfunction. That would explain why the device was behaving so erratically, no matter how many times I tried to tinker with it. How interesting. This information certainly helped me fix the device faster. Thank you for letting me know. You heard what the Lesethi were discussing during their meeting, Darren says. Yeah, I could hear them from far away thanks to my hearing stat, I tell Darren offhandedly. So anyway, I guess we should take our backpacks then. It's getting late. We still have a feast we need to attend to. Alright, the king says, remember to not say anything about your secret mission while you are outside the room. The Lesethi may be dead, but the spies are still alive and kicking. Many of them will definitely leave the city as soon as they find out they no longer have any employees to pay them, but some of the more loyal ones may seek revenge, and you wouldn't want to get yourself or your friends targeted by any of their assassins. I will have my own spies and assassin deal with these more loyal followers of the Lesethi in due time, but for now we should all be careful. Yeah, we'll be careful. Good luck on your travels, Gollum says, and remember that you will always be welcome to Thelius, should you choose to visit the city again. That was really cool. I did not expect all this to happen, but sure. We grab our backpacks, we wave goodbye to the king, and we go climb the stairs to the throne room. The king's servants were still there, and he had a rather uneasy look in his eyes when he saw us finally exit the king's basement after more than 2 hours. But he said nothing, and he led us outside, just like the last time when we came to the castle. About an hour and a half later, we finally reached the mansion where Rose was waiting for us impatiently. Finally, Rose says, I was almost starting to get worried. I was about to call you on the transceiver to make sure nothing happened. Sorry about that, Darren says. Could she have done the transceiver thing while we were underground? That would have been problematic. Finally, Rose says, yeah.